Bilang isang bagong sundalo, ikaw ay dapat isang maging military professional. At isa sa mga kailangan mong gawin ay obserbahan ang military customs and traditions. Ang military customs and traditions na ito ay matagal na nating sinusunod dahil isa ito sa nagpapatatag ng ating organisasyon. Ang pakay ng lesson na ito ay para ituro sa iyo ang military customs and traditions para ikaw ay mas lalo pang maging professional na sundalo.
Good day, gentlemen and ladies. I am Captain Dennis J. Martinez, ODAS 13102, Corps of Engineers, Philippine Army. I am presently assigned with Combat Support School, Training and Doctrine Command, Philippine Army. And as for my previous assignment, I was previously assigned with 45th Infantry Gallant Battalion, 5th Infantry Division, Philippine Army. Then later on with Engineer Support Battalion, 52nd Engineer Brigade, Philippine Army. So our topic for this day is about military customs and traditions. This modern tendency to scorn and ignore tradition and to sacrifice it to administrative convenience is one that wise men will resist in all branches of life, most especially in our military life, by Archibald Percival Waybo, Field Marshal British Army. Example nito ay simpleng pagsasaludo. If you are an officer, then if you are not saluted by a non-commissioned officer or an enlisted personnel, what would you feel? That's why we always refresh or learn and relearn these customs and traditions in our daily life as to perfect it or perform it as if we are just eating or drinking or walking. So I hope you will going to appreciate this subject, the military customs and traditions, wherein our objective is that at the end of this session, students will be able to adhere and apply the military customs and traditions. For the scope of this lesson, we have introduction, definition of terms, military traditions, military customs, and summary. So, military customs and traditions as if it revolves through force of necessity. Maraming pagbabago sa ating Armed Forces of the Philippines, but our traditions and customs is always there, which is the basic of our military life. And as an application of traditional forms of courtesies and expression of concerns, these traditions and customs are being used or being applied and foster discipline and mutual respect between soldiers as gentlemen and good leaders and followers of our armed forces of the Philippines. Then binding regulations. From here, we are able to formulate our own regulations which is binded through our customs and traditions. First, we have to define traditions. Traditions are inherited principles, standards, and policies that serve as guides for an individual or group, while customs are accepted practices realized through continued usage that take the force and effect of a common law. So we have here tradition of valor. It is gallantry in the face of clear danger, knowing how and when to fight with honor. So that is the tradition of valor.
In 1909, the first Medal of Valor was given to General Paulino Santos. Before gaining the top post in the Philippine Army, Santos led his platoon and raided a rebel camp in the town of Bayang in Lanao. Because of his skills and leadership, Santos and his men neutralized 30 rebels, a number far more than his friends.
Then we have here that tradition of duty, to perform your task with deep sense of responsibility and self-sacrifice. This is shown by serving up to more than 24 hours of duty without hesitation and question. While for tradition of honor, it is leading a life in peace or war, in personal dignity and self-worth. Soldiers must not exchange their honor and dignity with the glitter of gold or color of money. Then the tradition of solidarity. Unity is the strongest, most enduring and powerful military tradition. If we work together, whatever the situation we are, and we take pride in being a member of this organization. We are always a member of Team AFP. And tradition of loyalty, Filipino soldiers respect and love their country, that they are ready to give the supreme sacrifice if needed and necessary. Soldiers respect their constitution and everything that represents a symbol of a country. Check on learning. Can you define military traditions and enumerate these military traditions? I hope you can define it or to know what are the traditions and what are our customs. So next, we are going to take up our military customs. First, we have salute. This always pertains to military men. As you can see, in every camp, we look at some of the signboards we can see there. We salute each other with pride in a billboard or in a mark in a military camp. Next is we have flag raising ceremony. As the band played the national anthem to pledge that all our weekly effort are dedicated to this country. That is what we meant of flag raising ceremony. Then we have the flag retreat ceremony. A tap or gun signals that all must pause for a moment to salute the flag. Then the 3 valleys over graves. This is a sign of respect and gesture of farewell tendered to a departed comrade in arms. Then the white flag of truce. This is used to signal the temporary cessation of hostilities between warring factions. Wearing of decorations. Decorations and medals shall be worn proudly. When it is worn, it shall show others our dearest accomplishments. Then the raising of the right hand in taking oath. From the earliest days, the taking of an oath for truth of statement or testimony has been a solemn and serious matter accompanied by ceremony. Courtesy of the post. Short duration of stay in a camp is extended to members of the armed forces and they can use the camp's facilities similar to permanent party. Presentation of recruits. This is a ceremony where new soldiers are presented to the caller for the purpose of signifying acceptance and welcome into the organization. Then, farewell tendered to a departing officer. Tendered to personnel for a change of assignment, usually given by the unit's officer and personnel. And when time is at constraint, a happy hour will do. Then ceremony tendered to retiree. It is in recognition of his long and fruitful and honorable service to the AFP and trumpet or bugle call. This adds more distinction and excitement to the regimented life of a soldier. Courtesy calls. Officer detailed outside and is rejoining his mother's service, pay courtesy calls. And officers or personnel upon arrival or prior to departure, pay courtesy calls. Or assuming command positions or similar key positions, officers pay courtesy calls. And of course, newly promoted officers pay courtesy calls to their commanders. Then call of a newly promoted generals or flag officers. These officers or generals calls on their major service commanders, and we have also New Year's call on the commanding officer. It is usually accompanied by some form of arrival and departure honors during call of newly promoted generals or flag officers. And we have here happy hour, airing of minor gripes and blowing off a minor steam, and inquiry about making leave. Then a behavior conforms strictly with moral and ethical standards set forth in this code. Military wedding. The same with all faiths, but only chaplains of different churches incorporate other procedures. EP clubhouses. Listed personnel spend their off-duty hours in these clubhouses, like playing billiards or watching TV, having comfort just to relax in that place. Then we have here ceremonies at holidays and dinners, like Christmas holiday entertainments. And rank has its privilege. When a choice is to be made, such as selection of billeting or quarters, a rank has its privilege. The seniors are given the priority than the juniors. Visiting the sick. Sick must be visited by available personnel and survivor assistance to the family. when there is a death of a soldier and death of members of a soldier's family. We give assistance to the family or to the survivor's family. Then I wish and I desire. This commander's wish or desire is similar to an order. If you hear a commander say wish or desire, it is same as the commander commands you to do or perform the task. The word sir, it is used in the military conversation as a sign of respect. So I hope you have learned something about our military customs and traditions. For our summary, we have the introduction. We are able to define military customs, then the military traditions, and we have discussed the military traditions and military customs. That's all, gentlemen and ladies. Good day.